Hello, my dears. I just wanted to share this moment with you because it's a very normal moment. And this is me with no makeup, nothing. Having gone for a beautiful run this morning up this special hill with a beautiful sacred grove where I love to meditate. And lately, I've been talking a lot about how this is a time of a really powerful time, a lot of transition, and that feels differently for everybody. So I just want to say it's okay if tears are really common. If you're feeling and you don't know why, or you're feeling really tired or super energized and can't sleep, for me, my nervous system has always been really sensitive. I've talked about this many times, because it's part of my navigation system. It's part of how I know whether to make something and to post. Which isn't to say that I always wait until everything's in a way that's all sort of tied up with a bow. If you've been watching my videos for all the many years that I've been doing them, you know that I often, well, not often, many times I've felt called to share when I'm in a really raw state, so that you know that there's nothing wrong about that. And it doesn't have to be something that we're scared of. It can be something, I've learned to make it something that I embrace. And I recognize and I go, okay, time to trust that. Time to get warm, cozy. Because my nervous system, I feel like my nervous system, kind of like a mushroom, largely exists outside of my body. It's how I'm able to do what I do and really tune in a fine, particular way to different energies and different realms, and tap in and tap into different voices of different artists or different people, and different whole worlds, and bring them into being in a new way, or in the way that I feel they want from a communication standpoint. So yeah so I love it. I can't blunt my body's system, my body's ability to do what it's here to do. And at the same time, it's really frequent that I just sort of can't be with people. And I really can't do social media often. So if you're an Instagrammer or Facebook, you may notice that you don't see me on there all that often. Because for me, it's I feel like a raw nerve without a tooth. The moment I even think about those platforms, and they're great platforms, and there's so much good that they can do by spreading the word, and we know there's a lot of harm that they can do as well in how they're designed. But for me, sharing this in case it resonates, because if it does, you're not alone. For me, it's the focus that I have when I go on there and feel everyone sort of, it feels like screaming for whatever it is that they need, for attention, for belonging, for love. I just, it's like this flood of sensory overload for me. And I want to be there for everybody. And I want everyone to know that they're beautiful and doing enough, and they are enough, and you are loved and enough. And so, so the focus that I have when I step on that platform just goes. So I'm really, really mindful about only posting when I can and feel it and feel called. And same thing here. This is a little different because I feel like I can go long form. You might hear a leaf blower. This gentleman was whistling a few minutes ago, just from across the way. And I was like, yes, whistlers! Just a, whatever he was whistling. Those big headphones on. Anyway. When I'm in this state, tears are really, really there. And it's not even, it's not that I'm sad, although I'm touching the universal pool of sadness, because it's connected to the universal pool of love, because love is connected to pain. And pain is connected to unity. And because I love so much, and I love you so much, and I love life. I love life, and I'm so fascinated by this interesting journey of identifying from inside of a human. So we're so limited and so miraculous at the same time. Yeah, so when you see me here, don't worry. I'm right where I need to be. But sometimes I want to share from this place too, because it's a potent place. I was talking in a recent video about that moment when, in the life cycle of a caterpillar butterfly, when they liquefy, and that happens to me. I mean, it used to be once a year, and then it was sort of once a quarter, and now sometimes it's once a day, once a week, who knows. A colleague got me this. Good vibes to you. If you're in our 21 Accents Academy, you know that we made some emoji with this. This is our first emoji that we made with hands and many different beautiful colors. Because I feel like it has vibes. So I had a nice little laugh last night. I popped on YouTube and saw that I think I'm down about 100 subscribers in the past month. And I've never done this I'm not looking for a following. I'm really not. I've never done this for like fandom ever. It's always been a surprise to me. But there have been a few times where I've not even pivoted. I just, because my allegiance, my alliance, my alignment is always to what is asking to come forth from me. It's not necessarily conducive to like building a following and showing, hey, I can do this one thing, tune in for this one thing at the same time whenever, and we'll do this one thing together. I can't do that. I am a bazillion things. So I was just like, oh, good. People are figuring out, they're feeling out where to tune into, and it's really okay. So it's wonderful. when people are clear that this is not where they want to be. Bless everybody in that discernment. It's an important discernment, you know? But I had a little chuckle. Because I noticed myself at first having that old conditioned response of like, oh no, what did I do wrong? You know, and then I was like, no, you knew this is what happens. When I started speaking out about injustice, some people were like, no, you should just be an artist. We just want you to be an artist. Shut up, woman. You know? And then I was like, oh, good. Now we're both clear that, like, whatever you thought you were following me for wasn't what I was putting out in the first place. So now we're clear. And good. Bless you wherever you are. You know, may you go in love wherever you need to be. And hey, thanks for sticking around, those of y'all who did. Maybe one person. Because it gets even more special. Part of why I was feeling the call to come back here is because I've been finding it really soothing and helpful to tune in to just a few people. Pam Gregory, astrologer, amazing. If you're into astrology, if you're like, what's astrology? If you're like, what's astrology? Check her out. See what you think. She's very intuitive and tunes into a lot of different people at the forefront of many different aspects to do with, you know, quantum physics and new science and metaphysics and she's very tuned in to what's happening around the world and how some of these energies, it's like getting a forecast. And I don't need to spend a lot of time with this, but if you're like, no, I don't believe in astrology, you don't have to. You can just go about your merry day. But just for an example, whether or not you believe in astrology, you believe in water, and you're probably aware of the tides and how they're connected to the moon. And the moon is relatively small when it comes to celestial bodies. And we're molecularly 70% water, at least. They're saying more than that when you look at other realms. So if the ocean is moved by the moon on the daily, on the hourly, then probably our 70% of water is moved by the moon. I have a dear friend who is a cop, and he would say that on full moons, they always knew crime rates went up, but also love can go up, or, you know, our energy's up in our head. So anyway, I don't need to get into all that, but for me, tuning into a really, really keen astrologer, and there have been many over the years, but what I love about Pam is that she's always, you know, she'll talk about the full range of I guess effects that the particular energies at play in the forecast can have, but she's really, really keen on promoting that we take this as opportunities. You know, it's just like if we get a weather forecast and we know there's going to be rain, well, we could put a rain barrel out and collect some of that water and do something with it. Or we might choose to go dance in the rain. Or we might choose to, bring an umbrella so that we can preserve our outfit for the meeting. And we don't have to tune in. We can just be wonderfully surprised by the weather, but sometimes that surprise makes us go, ah, oh no. So for me, it's just, I like to tune in, and even more than that, she's just become kind of a source for me of comfort and of alignment that I love to tune into and hear her talk. And she's had incredible people on. She's got 200 something thousand followers. But she's had really, I've learned amazing things from just the people that she's interviewed on there too. About like Veda Austin and her work with water is phenomenal. It's like taking Masaru Emoto's work to a whole new level. Very personal, very accessible. So anyway, enough about all that. But as I was watching and a few others, I just kept getting this nudge that was like, I feel like this is a time when people, well, the nudge was just, Amy, you have this. You can be this for people. So I'm not trying to be Pam or be what she is, but I'm here. And I've had a few people mention that the videos have been helpful in times when you just need some grounding, need somebody who loves you and cares, and to share a few things that are helpful for me. So that's also why I'm here. And it doesn't mean I'm not going to still be creative. I have several things that are ideas that I've had to share, and we'll see about that. But I have, for me, it was never about like being an actor just to act regardless of the role. Art for me has always been about the soul fire, the juice within a particular story, and really only pouring myself into things that I feel are beneficial, and that I want to put my life energy into. So that's why I've, rather than put my energy into just trying to get any role, I write and produce and create the kinds of stories that I feel are important to share. And important doesn't mean that anything else out there is not important. I don't mean that. I mean that are in alignment for me particularly, and who I particularly am, and the specific skill sets that I have. So that's why it's such a big, beautiful world and industry, because for somebody that's going to be thrilling for them. Yeah. So, yeah, that, and when it comes to the choice of whether to promote myself or create, I know it's good to advertise. It is. It really is. But it's hard to prioritize for me. So rather than advertise, I share. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Whenever you do, I love you. You're not alone. You are not alone. I am here with you. Though we're far apart, you're always in my heart. And you're not alone. I am here with you. Though we're far away, I am here to stay. You are not alone. Much love and vibes. We are connected.